Nag-react na mga kababayan yung mga members ng Young Guns sa Congress kasi hinamon ni Digong yung mga taga-DOJ. Bakit na niya hindi pa kayo mag-file sa akin ngayon ng kaso? Sabi ng mga Young Guns, members ng Congress, dapat na niya itong si Digong, dapat na itong ikulong. Wala pa kasing kaso. At nagamo na si Digong na mag-file niya kayo ng kaso. Bakit na niya hindi kayo nagpa-file ng kaso? Oo nga no. So, maging si Risa Hontiveros po, yun na rin yung challenge. At pag-usapan din natin yung latest ngayon.
Nagpapagang mga balita at pagtalakay sa mga isyu ng lipunan. Pulsa, opinyon, banat at paglalantad sa katotohanan. Pulsa, what you see is what you get. You decide.
Yun na balita, sumunod na po kay Pacquiao, si Atty. Harry Roque, talagang yun po ang direksyon nila. Pinailan na po ng kaso ng PAOK, human trafficking case. But before ko mga kababayan ibigay sa inyo yung full story ng mga balitang yan, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ng ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng bagong Pilipinas. Balikan natin mga kababayan yung ating kwento. Sa hearing kanina po siguro napanood ninyo. Nagsabong po si Risa Hontiveros tapos si Digong. Pero hindi po siya inatrasan ni Risa Hontiveros. Umuusok po si Digong. Pero maganda, salute to you, Senator Risa. Pinakita mo yung civility talaga. Kahit yung mga pananalita ni Digong, yung usual niya pong pagmumura, pero hindi nagpadala sa emosyon mga kababayan. Nandun sa kanyang composure. Itong si Risa Hontiveros, si Digong po umuusok at proud siya na bastos daw siya. Bastos talaga anya ko. Hindi po napalaki ng tama ng magulang. Asa pa kayo? Kaya po si Inday, yun ang namana. Kabastusan sa pananalita. Sabi niya rito mga kababayan, i-play ko sa inyo. Sabi ni Digong, bastos ako, walang iya ako.
Express my apologies, especially to Senator Hontiveros kasi sensitive sa mga ganitong yung karakter ko ho, gano'n talaga. Baski saan mo ako ilagay, gano'n ka. Even in front of anybody. Gano'n talaga ako. Bastos ako. Walang hiya ako. Kasi galing lang ako. Galing ako sa mga.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. Hindi ako sensitive. Ayaw ko lang talaga ng bastos. Ayaw ko ng walang hiya. Lalo na pag pinag-uusapan natin ng seryosong bagay ng war on drugs saka extrajudicial killings.
Ako bastos
Salamat
lang.
kayo,
Wala ang
Mr.
hiya
Chair.
talaga ako. Yan ang totoo. Siguro, hindi ako dadating itong pagka-presidente kung hindi ako bastos at hindi ako walang hiya.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I am now, hindi sa lahat baka sabihin mo, magwalang hiya ako sa inyo. Hindi yan. May kunting edukasyon rin ako. Decency. Yung demeanor ko, yung pinapakita ko sa inyo, yung galit ko, yung rage ko, sa kriminal yan. Ngayon nga, naging prosecutor ako, matagal masyado. Ako muna ba? Professor ako ng
Professor ng...
Police Academy.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You see? Inamin lahat ni Digong. May death squad niya ako. Lahat niya sila. Nilaglag si Bato, pati yung mga pati yung mga generals niya. Sila niya lahat. Death squad ko niya sila. Pagkatapos, may pribado pa niya akong death squad talaga. Kaya nilaglag ni Bato, ni Digong, si Bato at mga kasama, pati yung sarili niya. Nilaglag na ni Digong. Kaya sabi ng mga Young Guns, congressmen, dapat na niyang kasuhan. Umami na po. Under oath siya po. Dapat na niya ang challenge sa DOJ. Kasi challenge pa ni Digong yung DOJ. Bakit nga hindi niyo ako ginakasuhan? Yan po sabi ng Young Guns. Oh. Duterte anya must go to jail for EG case. The Young Guns of Congress demanded that former President Rodrigo Duterte face the full force of the law niya and go to jail. For ditang yan, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ang ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng Bagong Pilipinas. Sa mga nagana po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, Aleco Bills, PLDT, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay. For inquiries, look for Gilon Maravillas, contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan po mga bagong clients namin. Napakaganda at colorful at napakalinis ng aming gym po. Pati mga foreigners po pumupunta sa amin, mga British tourist po sila dito sa Legazpi. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga brand new gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po sa paninigas ng mga kasukasuan. Ito naman po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Neng siya red mixed fruit drink. Hindi mo po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. O ngayon, yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayos niya, Mr. Maravilla. The extrajudicial killings or EG case committed during his administration following his admission of full legal responsibility for killings under his war on drugs. During the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee inquiry on the Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. So, malamang mga kababayan, mag-build na po ng kasi under oath siya. Hindi niya pwedeng bawiin yon. Ang dami ng ebidensya at ang daming testigo. Hindi niya pwedeng sabihin joke lang yon. Tulad ng sinasabi ni Bato na nagjo-joke man lang daw yung dating Pangulo. Anong nagjo-joke? Na numpa siya na magsasabi ng totoo. Under oath siya. Kaya sabi natin mga kababayan, tumalon sa kumunoy sinigong. Kaya sabi po ni House Deputy Majority Leader in Tingog Party List, Representative Jude Asidre, voiced scathing response to Duterte's statement, underscoring that his admission niya leaves no room for leniency. The former president niya has publicly accepted responsibility for these deaths, sabi po ni Asidre. If we truly stand by our principles of justice in the rule of law, then Mr. Duterte must be held accountable, sabi po niya. He must go to jail for this EG case. This is not about politics, it is about justice. Yan mga kababayan yung sabi ni Tingog Party List Congressman Jude Asidre. Asidre stressed that no one, especially those in positions of power should be immune from legal consequences. Duterte's words have given the justice system a clear mandate to act. Sabi po niya, as public servants niya, our duty is to uphold justice, not to shield individuals. Duterte must face the legal consequences for his actions. Umamin po, napakalinaw. Kuha niya, I encourage niya them. Yung mga pulis ko niya, in-encourage ko sila, sinabihan ko sila na i-encourage nyo niya yung suspects na lumaban para may rason na patayin. Ganon mga kababayan yung paulit-ulit na sinabi ni Digong. Ngayon, sabi naman po ni House Assistant Majority Leader in Zambales, 1st District Representative G. Congon, Duterte's admission niya offers an opportunity to reaffirm our nation's commitment to the rule of law. Sabi po niya, this is a critical time for us, for our institutions, to show their strength by pursuing the legal accountability that so many families have waited for. Mismong idiniin mga kababayan ni Digong yung sarili niya, ibinaon niya. Baka bukas iba na yung sinasabi. Nagpa-presyon ngayon. After ng Senate hearing mga kababayan, nagpa-presyon si Digong. Ngayon, sabi naman po ni House Assistant Majority Leader and Nueva Ecija 1st District Congresswoman Mika Swansing, our judiciary niya and investigative bodies now have a duty to act on this admission. The former president niya, the former president's own words must be met with a serious response. For too long, victims of EG case have waited for answers. Sabi naman po ni Cagayan de Oro 1st District Representative Lordan Suwan, a lawyer called on the Department of Justice at saka sa Office of the Ombudsman to initiate full investigation. We cannot ignore niya such an admission, sabi po ni Suwan. These institutions must act decisively and transparently to restore faith in our justice system. Sabi naman po ni House Assistant Majority Leader in La Union, 1st District Representative Paulo Ortega, if Philippine authorities do not act, the ICC could be a crucial avenue for justice. We must ensure accountability for the lives lost and demonstrate that no one is above the law. Yan po yung sunod-sunod na reaksyon ng ating mga congressmen, members ng the Young Guns of Congress. So sabi rito, in a unified statement, the Young Guns concluded by urging the justice system to seize this moment and act without fear or favor. In a unified statement, the Young Guns concluded by urging that the justice system to seize this moment and act without fear or favor. Duterte's admission has removed any ambiguity, sabi po ni Isidre. Our nation is at a crucial juncture and the path forward is clear. Duterte must answer to the law. Let this be the moment where we stand firm for justice, dignity, and the lives lost. So, hintayin natin kung ano yung reaction ng Department of Justice with this admission of crimes. This is actually a crime against humanity. Hintayin natin yung reaction po ng DOJ. Kasi mismo nang si Digong yung nang hamon. Bakit niya hindi ninyo ako kasuhan? O ngayon, may isang inimbita mga kababayan na resource person, isang police officer po, yung Senado. Ito po, inutusan daw siya si Police Colonel Hector Grijaldo. Inutusan daw siya ng Quadcom na pilitan na umano itong si Grijaldo na magsinungaling at kumpirmahin ang umano'y reward system. Ang tinuturo po si Congressman Dan Fernandez at saka si Benny Abante. Ano niya, Mr. Maravillas, ang tingin mo? Baka pina-recant ni Bato. But anyway, mabubuking din yan, mga kababayan. Nothing concealed which shall not be revealed or hidden which shall not be made known. But anyway, pakinggan natin, mga kababayan, yung kanyang pagbaliktad. Ayan po.
Matapos ang House Quadcom hearing na umabot ng 14 hours, dumating ako sa bahay ng madaling araw ng October 23, kasagsagan ng bagyong Christine. Hinihintay ako ng aking pamilya at nag-aalala at di nakatulog hanggang safety akong makauwi. Dala-dala ko ang masamang karanasan at hinanakit sa pangyayari, pero di ko agad nasabi sa aking asawa. Hanggang lumipas ang ilang araw, napansin niyang matamlay at di ako mapakali. Di ko matiis na di ko sabihin sa kanya, kahit alam kong apektado siya at may nervyos pag ang pag-usapan ay tungkol sa trabaho ko. With great courage, I confided everything to her. Kahit ito ay malaking problema, and it will affect us, and it will change on our normal and simple life. My career for almost 30 years of service, our personal and family safety and security, and maybe I will be condemned or be ostracized. My wife hugged me and started to cry and asked me why. I told her patagal na tayong nagsusumikap and we have to be strong and survive together. Mauna ni ang panahon nga magpakabanata means makialam. Lisod maging witness rata o maging innocent bystander. Maangol gyapon ta o maging casualty tayo. Ipasabot na ko sa iya ha. I have to explain to her, kailangan na ay mubarog sa kamatuoran. There must be someone to rise up to the occasion. I told her that I have the moral obligation and a call of duty to uphold as police officer. In the eyes of God and in the soul of man, I have to say this, even God was betrayed 3 times. But this time, I have to say this, I don't want to betray our beloved country, our fellow Filipinos, and to God Almighty. I don't want to discredit the men and women of the Philippine National Police, the institution where I belong. I don't want to destroy my beloved alma mater, the Philippine National Police Academy, who molded me with moral values to speak for the truth that I owe, and it's time to give it back, the honor and respect. Your Honor, allow me to read my affidavit.
Good. See. David,
Yes, Your Honor.
sige, also submit a copy to us. Sige,
Yes, Your
sige.
Honor.
Mahaba po yan? Ilang pages pa yan?
Saglit lang, Your
Sige,
Honor.
go ahead.
Allow me to read, Your Honors, my affidavit. I, Police Colonel Hector U. Grijaldo, 3rd Level Officer, presently assigned a personal holding administrative unit, Camp Crame, Quezon City. After duly sworn to, under oath and in accordance with law, do hereby depose and states that I've been dedicated to public service for almost 30 years. And since I took my oath as cadet on June 1, 1995. On October 16, 2024, I was again invited as a resource person in the 9th Joint Public Hearing of Committees on Dangerous Drug, Public Order, Safety and Human Rights, and Public Accounts of the House of Representatives scheduled on October 22, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. I, together with other invited PNP personnel, attended the joint hearing in the House of Representatives. After I answered questions related to extrajudicial killings and the reward system, I was approached by a security personnel while I was seated in one of the witnesses during the hearing. The said person told me that I was summoned by Congressman Dan Fernandez. I went out of the room with the security personnel. When we were outside, he told me to go to the left corridor and proceed straight to the end room. While walking, I saw other witnesses who were standing in the corridor, including my classmate, Major Portalesa and Captain Anova, who was wearing a PNP uniform, and the latter acknowledged me by saluting. When I entered the room, I saw 2 lawyers of Police Colonel Garma standing inside the room. One of the lawyers approached me and then asked me what we are going to talk about. I said I do not know. After a while, Kong Dan Fernandez entered the room and he asked me to sit beside him on his right side. And then Kong Abante entered the room, sat far end of the chair on the right. One of the lawyers of Police Karma stood near at my back. Kong Dan Fernandez put the paper he was holding on the table and told me, "Ito ang sasabihin mong statement na ito," while pointing on the paragraph on the paper. Ito ang supplemental affidavit ni Colonel Garma. Sabihin mo, alam mo ang reward system. I-confirm mo lang. Kong Dan told me to read the said affidavit. However, I asked the copy of affidavit he was showing to me to read it. He did not give it to me. The lawyer of Police Colonel Garma said, "Ikaw lang ang pwedeng magsabi niyan," sabi ni Colonel Garma. I was puzzled and I asked myself, why me? I respectfully told him that I cannot confirm. They are saying as I have not read the affidavit. We went silent for a while. And then Kong Dan Fernandez said, while holding the affidavit, "Saan ka pwede?" "Dito, noong 1999, about DDS, alam mo to, pulis ka na sa Davao nito." I politely told him that I was not still with the PNP because I was working with the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in 1999 that time. After some time, Kong Abante asked me how many years do still I have with the PNP. I answered, I still have 4 years before my retirement. Then he made a remark, "Pwede ka pang maging general." I humbly responded to him, "Masaya na ako sa ranggo ko, sir. Pagkatapos nito, sir, uuwi na lang ako. At magtatanim na lang ako ng kamote sa amin." The cordial conversation between us continued. And I felt that they wanted me to convince me to do what they wanted me to do. Then Kong Abante asked me where I serve as a chief of police. To which I answered, Mandaluyong City Police Station. Kong Abante then persuaded me by saying, ikaw naman, Colonel, ganito na lang. Alangan namang walang insidente o pangyayari sa panahon na yon. I answered, and I served as a COP in Mandaluyong during the COVID-19 pandemic, and there were less crime committed. And we did not receive any reward from anyone. I added that we only received funds, additional MOA or support fund from the Peace and Order Fund of the LGU. I then respectfully told Kong Dan Fernandez that anybody can debunk my statement if I confirm the testimony of Colonel Garma about the DDS in 1999, since I was not a member of PNP at the time. And I have no personal knowledge as to the reward system. Additionally, I said, the work of the policeman are noble and requires great sacrifice, even without the reward or award. It is our moral obligation and a call of duty to serve our country and people. Then Kong Dan asked me, si Colonel Garma, anong masabi mo sa kanya sa Barayuga? I politely told him I cannot comment on the case. When I respectfully answered him, Sir, mahirap yan. Kasama kami sa nag-iimbestiga. Hindi ko alam kung anong kinalaman niya. May investigasyon din sa amin. Baka ma-incriminate ako, sir. After the discussion, they did not give me a copy of the second affidavit of Police Colonel Garma. I felt that I disappointed them. Kong Dan Fernandez and Kong Abante left the room, while I and the two lawyers of Police Colonel Garma stayed in the room for a while. I presume that they are about to present the second affidavit of Police Colonel Garma. I asked the two lawyers of Police Colonel Garma why they have chosen me. They did not answer me and just stared at me. And that I went back to the hearing room. When I went back to the hearing room, I immediately called the attention of Police Colonel Lito Patay, who were sitting behind the witness table. We proceeded at the back of the lobby area when they suspended the hearing. I confided and discussed to him what happened in the room with Kong Dan Fernandez and Kong Abante and the two lawyers of Police Colonel Garma. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Colonel Grijaldo. Okay.
The time, Your Honor, I was insulted and it is very offensive, and I think it is inappropriate for anyone to act like that.
Meaning, you feel that you are being coached to make that statement?
Yes, Your Honor. I feel I be corrupted to make that statement, Your Honor.
But-
Just because that time, habang nag-uusap-usap, habang nagkakaroon ng deliberation doon sa hearing, Your Honor, hindi ko alam kung maybe present nila si Colonel Garman at that time, Your Honor, na mag-aano ng second supplemental, ay yung supplemental affidavit niya.
So do you feel harassed? Did you feel harassed?
it's an harassment and very offensive, Your Honor, and uncalled for anybody. At that time, I was wearing my uniform
You're wearing your
as police
uniform
officer.
and you are being told to lie.
Parang
Am I correct?
gusto nilang magsisinungaling po ako, Your Honor.
So, Colonel Grijaldo, I would like to thank you for your courage. I'm sure maraming police ngayon nanonood. And if you have observed, mabuti na nagsalita ka. Dahil if you have observed, the way they are treating policemen in the Quadcom, it's very hard. I feel them. I feel them. Because naging police rin ako. Kapag sasabihan ka lang, answer yes or no. You can only answer yes or no. You're not allowed to explain yourself. So, para bang you are being deprived. You are being deprived of your right to explain yourself. Kaya lalong-lalo na kapag ikaw itinuturuan na itong sasabihin mo, itong paragraph sasabihin mo, o dito, pwede ka ba dito? So, that's very inappropriate and it's very irregular for a lawmaker making an investigation in aid of legislation to make that kind of approach to a resource person na parang pinipilit na itong sabihin mo, iko-coach ka, ito, pwede ka ba dito? Para ang lumalabas na meron talaga silang preconceived na goal na kung anong dapat lang mahit dito, kaya ginaguide yung magiging statement mo. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Malamang itong ginagawa niya dito sa Senate hearing, ito yung totoong kinotes niya. Unang-una, Senator Bato, hindi po kapani-paniwala na ikaw yung nag-iimbestigaw, ikaw yung nag-question, ikaw yung nagsi-Senate hearing, pero kasama ka sa dapat imbestigahan. Di ba? Sinasabit ka ng mga witnesses sa Quadcom. Pagkatapos nagsagawa kayo ng sarili ninyong investigasyon, Senate hearing. Paano man maniwala niyan yung mga mamamayang Filipino? Lalo na pag ikaw ang nagtanong. Kaya nga doon sa Senate hearing, ang kapani-paniwala lang doon ang mga tanong ni Risa Ontiveros. The rest, wala na po. Di ba? Kaya nga napaamin mismo ni Risa Ontiveros, sinigong na corner po, nasukol. Pero itong witness po na in-invite po ninyo, na kayo yung nagtatanong, hindi man po yan kapani-paniwala kasi unang-una, kasama ka sa sinasangkot. So ang iniimbestigahan mo, yung sarili mo. Di ba? But anyway, sige lang sa ginagawa ninyo. Maglukuan kayo. Di ba? O ngayon mga kababayan, dito tayo sa sunod nating kwento. Kinasuhan na po ng PAOK at ng PNP-CIDG ng human trafficking charges. Finaila na po ng human trafficking charges si Harry Roque kasama yung dalawang iba pa. You see, sumunod na po kay Pacquiao. Malamang, ang susunod, si Inday at saka si Tatay. Kasi, challenge niya yung DOJ, malamang i-call, at saka yun na rin po yung panawagan ng mga congressmen. Kasuhan na po ng DOJ. Si Inday naman po, plunder. Yun ang sabi sa balita. In relation naman sa confidential funds. Sunod-sunod po mga kababayan. Ito yung balita ng Impact Leadership. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, PAOK, at saka yung PNP-CIDG, nag-file na po ng human trafficking charges against former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque at saka dalawang associates niya for their alleged roles in Lucky South 99 Corporation. Isang Pogo Hub na ni-raid mga kababayan doon sa Porac, Pampanga. Sa isang supplemental complaint na sinumite to the Department of Justice, Roque along with Mercedes Macabasa and Leitan were added to the previous complaints against Cassandra Leong at saka 53 others for violations ng Republic Act number 9208 o ito pong Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003 as amended. So yung Interagency Council Against Trafficking, a prosecutor na si Darwin Cañete revealed that Roque was implicated due to his alleged active participation in the furtherance of the illegal activity at Lucky South 99. Cañete noted that evidence includes testimony mula mga kababayan sa isang sa Assistant Vice President ng PAGCOR indicating that Roque Inong met with PAGCOR officials on July 26, 2023. Furthermore, Roque allegedly made several follow-ups regarding the status of the firm's gambling license renewal. So hindi siya lawyering lang mga kababayan, kundi active yung kanyang participation. Mismong involved siya. Sangkot mga kababayan. Officers and people associated with the corporation should be held accountable for the roles in the human trafficking activities nitong Lucky South 99, sabi po ni Cañete. Leitan was identified as head of the company's accounting department. Ito namang si Mercedes Macabasa served as its security compliance officer. Si Roque nag-deny sa kanyang involvement with Pogos but stated he would confront the charges against him. So, hindi lang siya magiging wanted. Pugante ng Congress. Padiritsuhan na siya. Full-fledged pugante. Kasi pinaila na po siya, mga kababayan, ng kaso ng PAOK at ng PNP-CIDG. Diba, mga kababayan? Sunod nito si Digong. Pafailan siya ng kaso ng DOJ. Saka, si Inday naman po, pafailan po ng pandarambong. Yan po. House Blue Ribbon Panel ICE Plunder Case versus Sara over 112.5 million pesos confidential fund cash advances. Malamang magsama-sama sila sa paghihimas ng rehas mga kababayan sa susunod na mga araw.